This is Audacity, episode 23. This is the VeloCityOKC show, Audacity. I'm Nate Fisher. I'm the Director of Communications at the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber.
And I'm Kaylee McDaniel, Senior Marketing Manager, also at the Chamber. Today we're so excited to have a special guest to kick off our episode. We have Al Rojas, who's the General Manager of the Oklahoma City Convention Center. Al, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
welcome.
As you guys can tell, we're here on the lovely third floor balcony overlooking Scissortail Park. This is really, really a great space, and if you guys have not had a chance to come check out the new convention center, you should. This is a very, very cool facility.
It's a gym of Oklahoma City, for sure.
It is. It definitely makes an impact on the skyline down here, and I think on visitors as well.
Absolutely.
And you got to get here as fast as you can, please.
So, Al, we were talking a little bit before we started rolling that you've had a long history in hospitality and events. You've worked at both arena level and at venues like this one in different markets. So tell me a little bit more about that and what drew you to this opportunity here in Oklahoma City.
It was the newness. It was a new building and coming to a place that wanted the building. And I got to tell you, the sight unseen, you got to say Oklahoma City, I don't know.
Yeah.
But to get here and experience what is here right now, and knowing that there was a lot of people, appointed elected officials who had a vision, who were committed to changing the landscape of Oklahoma City. And to see that commitment, not only in words, but in commitment of dollars and projects well in advance of when they wanted to do it, that meant there was people wanting to do something here great. And that was the draw. That was the draw because other locations you were wishing and hoping for some of the things that are here. But to come here and have those on the list already and sell this, to go to meeting planners that we want to go invite to come here and say, it's already on the list. We have it. Come see us. That's a huge confidence builder to go out there and talk that way, because in other markets, I'm promising or I'm committing or over-committing. And then when people arrive, then you lose a little bit of your credibility. Credibility here is already established. All we have to do is go out there and sell it. So that's what drew me. The wonderful building, the people. I've been here about a year now, and slowly getting out to embrace people. And they're opening, they're inviting, authentic, genuine. I could go on, but that right there is what sets this destination that we want to build apart from a lot of other ones. That it really is what it is. We're not trying to fake it. We're not trying to create something that's not here.
Right.
It's already here. All we're doing is enhancing it. And by enhancing it, you put it on steroids. And then that's when the doors really open. So that's what I'm excited about. Really am excited.
Well, and put your salesman hat on for a little bit and talk a little bit about sort of some of the unique features and offerings that we have as a result of this new facility that we may not have been able to offer before.
Just the space itself, 200,000 square feet of exhibit space, 30,000 square foot ballroom, the views at Scissortail Park. But it's the infrastructure here of internet and electrical that are the workhorse for the building for meeting planners and exhibitors that want to come in. Most places are struggling when it comes to internet or electrical water, but this place has it built in. The other part about this, it's just the layers of design, the layers of finish outs that are in the building. You get a wow every time you come into a different place. It's not repeating the same thing. It's a unique thing in every part of the building. And that is creating a non-sterile environment that really is very powerful. The artwork, we have the virtual sky that's sitting out here in our atriums. To have that glow on the outside, on the inside, the building has it breathes every day. It has a sense of belonging. It has a sense of being part of it. And you sense it the moment you walk into the building. Every time you look, you got 360 views, 180. It's incredible. It's incredible. So that's the uniqueness. And that's what's going to be the draw, because it has a feel by itself. Planners or exhibitors, promoters don't have to create the space. It's already here. It's engaging. It's powerful. It sometimes doesn't want to let go of you either. So that's the good part about that. That is the really good part.
Yeah, it definitely makes a statement. And like I said, if you guys have not had a chance to come down to this area with Scissortail Park and the new convention center, Skydance Bridge, and everything that's going on down here, you'll see. And you'll also notice that there is a lot of synergy sort of built in in particular with the design of and the function of the convention center kind of in mind, with the park being here right next to the convention center. Of course, the headquarters hotel is right next door. The streetcar stop right nearby to help move people around, through downtown and Bricktown, conference attendees. Like, it's just, you can tell that there was a lot of really thoughtful planning that has gone into being purposeful with some of these decisions. So it's cool to see.
Absolutely. The Chamber, for those of you who have not been here yet, a great opportunity will be our State of the City, which is coming up November 1st. That'll be our first event in this building. We're ecstatic about it, let me tell you. So will you give me a little preview about the type of food that might be on the menu, what people can expect when they come to a lunch or an event, a dinner here, the type of menu that you have featured?
Wonderful. ASM Global, which is the company that we work for, we have a food and beverage arm called Savor. They come into an environment and they take on what the culture is of the location, and then they enhance that. So we have a lot of custom menus. A lot of menus are already just stock, but we listen to our customer and we want to engage and say, tell us what you want this event to be. How do you want this thing to impress or come out? And then we take that, we go back, and then we put our minds together. And our chefs here have this wonderful thing of starting real simple and then building the layers of sophistication of the meal, and then it goes down to the presentation, and then the service itself. It's not just one thing, it's a holistic approach to doing that meal that comes to you at one time. And I got to tell you, it's an art and a science to do that. We have over 1,200 people that are probably going to be here for this, so it takes hours of planning, and then you get one moment to execute, and everything's got to come together, and that's the exciting part, and that's the scary part at the same time. And at the end of the day, it's a memorable experience that people walk away and say, wow, because sometimes conventioners are not known for that wonderful food. Here in Oklahoma City, we're setting a different standard for everybody, and we're going to wow people the moment they walk in the door.
We're so excited to experience that. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and I've seen I've had a chance to come to a couple of different events here and preview events, and I've been able to try some of the food, and I can tell from firsthand experience, it's very well done. The other thing that I got a chance to check out a few months ago, you guys did a media event around some of the safety measures that you have in place here to kind of keep people safe, especially during the times with the pandemic and such. And you have a fleet of germ-zapping robots. Tell the folks a little bit about what you guys are doing in terms of sort of personal hygiene and safety.
Absolutely. Trying to get people out of their bubble, and that's the one thing that people are really don't want to leave their bubble because they don't feel safe. So what we're trying to do here is make sure that we have a bubble here for them. So the germ-zapping robots, we have 10 of them, and they look like little R2-D2s that run around. They pop up, their heads come up, and UV lights. So it's streaking out UV lights. It's the same technology in hospitals. So we're killing the germs at that level of intensity, and it really does have a sense of security when people know that we have that. And then we have the other layer within our quality of air. We have 28 air handler units. Keep that in mind. It's going to be a test, AHU. But we have 28 of those. And back in December, as part of CARES Act, we were able to get ionization. So positive, negative ions come into the space and kill whatever pathogens you want to. So coronavirus being one of those pathogens, and then it just takes it out of the air. And it's a continuous cycle of clean air, germ-zapping robots, and then just hands-on. So our housekeeping crews, attention to the details on hard surfaces, making sure we do more frequency of cleans, and just being visible about that, showing that we're making that effort to do that. And that is the layered approach that we're trying to do, because it's just not one thing that's going to make us feel safe.
Right.
And then it's everybody else doing their part as well.
Yeah.
So it is a collective trying to make sure that we can have a safe bubble here for people to come in, and that's what we want. People to feel safe, feel comfortable, and get out.
Right.
So what are you looking forward to the most when you think about the future of the Oklahoma City Convention Center?
The impact that we're going to have. We want to serve the locals and residents first. And then the next tier we want to go to is the outside visitors. Ones that come in, and as Mayor Holt says, leave the money and go home. Yeah. That's the best dollar for us, because that it continues this vision that the elected and appointed officials have to continue to enhance the quality of life. And those extra dollars, those incremental dollars, help fund people, things like maps and other projects into the future, so that we're relevant as a destination. We take care of people, and that shows. And when people come from out of town, when the locals are using those spots, much like the different destinations here in the districts and riding the streetcar, coming to the convention, they say if they're using it, then it's got to be good. I'm going to go back to being authentic and real. People know when it's crafted and not the real thing. And here, when you walk into the different establishments, they'll greet you to say, hey, how you doing? Welcome. And when people see that, they know that there's a connection. They know that people are doing that because they like what they do.
Right.
And when you have that and you're able to go out and sell that, it's real.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited about, that this wonderful place here that was built debt-free, so we're no debt.
Exactly.
So all we're focused on is creating experiences, making sure that we can invite people here. Come and experience the center, Scissortail Park, and all what Oklahoma City has to offer, museums, water parks. I mean, I got to tell you, when people come here, they come for the one thing, but we got to give them a reason to come on what we call the bookends, either on the front end or the back end of their purpose here, and stay, and then come back.
Yeah.
And then they're going to become our brand ambassadors, because that's the best word of mouth. They're going to go out and tell people what they experience. And when that happens, hold on, get ready, because the doors are going to open wide, and we're going to have problems that we didn't want to have, but they're going to be a blessing at the end of the day.
Sure.
We've had an article on VeloCity within the last few weeks about ways that you can actually help us recruit and book conventions here. And so I'll drop a link to that in the show notes. But if you are a member of some sort of a national organization and you're out and about and you happen to have an annual meeting or a semi-annual conference in some other city, hey, pitch Oklahoma City for the next go-around. Our CVB will be glad to help make the connections that need to be made to make that happen.
Absolutely.
And get Al and his crew on board. We're looking for some hometown heroes.
There we go.
So on that note, is there anything else that locals can do to help support the work that the convention center is doing in Oklahoma City, or just the hospitality industry as a whole?
As I mentioned before, continue to do what they do.
Yeah.
Be authentic, be real, be genuine. We never know who the customers is when we walk into their front doors. Like here, I never know who our VIP is going to be, or a meeting planner. We treat everybody the same way. Everybody's a VIP, and we treat them with hospitality that they're going to back and say, wow. That's what we continue to do every day, because we don't have to gear up. We do it here. We do it every day. That's why I'm going to go back to being authentic and genuine. That's the key right there.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Since you're new to town, you talked about how you were getting out and seeing some new spots. Tell us a little bit. We're all about kind of relaying some of our new experiences that we've enjoyed to our audience here. Anything that you'd like people to know that about here locally that you've really enjoyed in particular, that you found out about, maybe some sort of a discovery?
The craft beer scene.
You guys are on
we
the
need to
same
talk.
wavelength.
We talked about the place across the park here that I like to go. It has a great view of this place, so I feel like I'm going to work, and I can actually consider a little bit of work.
There you go.
Yeah, you could just work remotely from social capital.
Yeah.
That seems like a great plan.
And down on Automotive District to some of the restaurants in there. Riding the streetcar, I first got here, that's what I did, just to see what was going on and how easy it was to get on and off and hop around. And of course, I like Manhattan over on Park Avenue.
Yes.
So, I'm beginning out a little bit. Patrono's is another one of the spots I like to go to.
I haven't been there yet, and I really want to.
Up in Midtown, Fassler Hall.
Yeah.
Got to get a little crazy every once in a while. But
exactly.
there's enough here to offer for everybody. It's not just one element. It's a very good assortment of entertainment and interest.
Awesome.
You still got the districts of the Art District, Paseo, and out there, and it's just how I'm going to go back to unique. I'm going to keep using that word because that is really what makes the destination stand apart from everybody else. It's not cookie cutter.
Right.
It's not your established boxes that I want to set up and you see all over the place. But when you come here, you get to feel and you get that experience of what people here do every day.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. That's great. And that gives me a chance to plug another one of our Velocity articles because we did write a piece a little while back about how to do a brewery tour via the streetcar.
That's right.
You're talking about. So I'll drop a link to that in the show notes, but it's very easy to visit quite a number of good spots here around downtown via the streetcar.
Maybe one of those crazy scooters.
That's or one of the crazy scooters, yeah.
Hellbiz brand.
Geez. That's right. Love the scooters. So glad about those. Oh, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but our next podcast is actually going to be at Lively Brewery,
right.
new chamber member, Lively Beer Works. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we wrap up. Yeah, very cool.
Well, Al, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate all your insights on this place, and just for everyone who's listening or watching, come to the Oklahoma City Convention Center.
Yeah, come check it out.
Really beautiful facility, and like I said, a gem of Oklahoma City. We're proud to have it.
Well, it's my pleasure, and thank you all and the residents for their commitment to support this building as well.
Well, thanks so much, Al. Really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
That was great.
Anybody wants to come down, just give us a call.
We will.
Walk you through the building.
We're excited to be here on November 1st for State City. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
We're so excited.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Oh, great. Thank you all very much.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, talk a little bit about some of those, speaking of State of the City, talk a little bit about some of those we've got the signature chamber events coming out here, our signature events.
That's right. This is signature chamber event season.
What is
right
the
now.
story with those?
So we do have 3 of the chamber's signature events coming up this fall. Those are kind of the events that garner the most audience, that talk about the big highlights of the things that are happening in our region. Mm-hmm. So the first one of those, like I mentioned, is State of the City. That's on November 1st. And that's when Mayor David Holt will give his address about what's going on in Oklahoma City, the things we should celebrate, the things that are on the horizon for the next year. And we were talking before we start rolling, we haven't had a State of the City since February, actually, 2020.
Right.
It was just 3 weeks before, the pandemic came to our area and we had to shut down everything. So this is a long time overdue. And we're so excited that we get to have it here in Oklahoma City's Convention Center, the new facility. Incredibly pumped to highlight this place, to show it off to our members and to experience it for ourselves, quite frankly. So that's the first signature event that's coming up. Next, after that, on November 18th, we have State of the Economy. Mm-hmm. And so this is our annual event that highlights what's happening in the regional economy. There are so many questions right now about what's happening with the supply chain, what's going to happen with oil and gas. So we try to bring in a national economist and a panel of regional economists to discuss those things, how they're going to impact Oklahoma City businesses in the next 2 to 3 years. So like I said, we'll have our panel of regional economists. Our national economist is Dr. Bill Connerly. Right. He's a real business-focused economist, so his expertise is kind of translating, here are these big trends, this is how they're going to impact your business.
Heard a lot of good things about him.
Excited to hear from him. We met with him earlier last week, and great guy. I think he's going to bring a lot of energy and a lot of expertise to this event.
Cool.
And then finally, our annual meeting is going to be on December 3rd. That's a Friday. And so we will have the chamber chair, Sean Trotsky with OG&E, and then Roy Williams will also be on hand. We'll also have a speaker. And that's more of a here's what we've done this year. Here's where our goals are going to be for the next year. It's a good way to kind of close out 2021, set the tone for 2022. So all 3 of those are coming up, and you can learn more about those events on our website, okcchamber.com/events, or on VeloCity.com. We always have invitations and information about our events there as well.
Absolutely.
So I hope everyone can join us. It's an exciting and fun time for chamber events. It's a good time to get involved and see what's going on.
Well, and like you said, so State of the City is going to be here. Our annual meeting is going to be here as well.
Yes.
And so, if you just want an excuse to come check out the new convention center, well, you could do worse than doing that via one of the signature chamber events. And then the State of the Economy is at the National Cowboy Western Heritage Museum. Those are all in-person events.
Yes.
We are doing some things to keep folks feeling safe. And,
that's true. We have lots of
measures and
sanitization stations going on. And we've even implemented a little thing on your name tag where you put green if you're good, if you just want to hug everyone you see and you don't care about COVID. Yellow if you're maybe a little elbow bump. And then red is stay away. Don't come near me.
I'm glad to be here,
6 feet away,
glad to see you. But
don't come close.
we're trying not to breathe all the same air here. Oklahoma City is full of huggers.
That's true.
In general.
And if you're an introvert, you just put that red sticker on and be back up. I don't really want to hug you.
That's true. Yeah, side benefit. Yeah, this
this is an introvert's dream time.
I was going to say this isn't too bad of a time if you
don't want to be around people. This is great for you.
I mean, I tend towards misanthropy myself, so I get that. But it's also fun to be out and about with people. But Yes. Okay, so what else do we want to talk about today?
Well, I will say, note for the audio and people who can't see under the table, I broke my foot on Labor Day. So I have been confined to my home, Nate, and I was really hoping that today's podcast, you could be like, here's everything that's going on for people that have 2 good feet right now out in the world. Because I know you've been doing a lot of like active things like marathons and regattas, and I want you to fill me in on how all that went because I was not there to watch you.
Well, last weekend was a big weekend in Oklahoma City, for sure. Well, Friday night, the chamber participated, as we usually do, in the Oklahoma Regatta Festival. So we had our chamber team racing in a rowing shell, an 8-person rowing shell, and so racing the regatta against the other co-ed experience teams.
How many people were in the heat?
We had 4 different teams in the heat.
That's a healthy race.
And we've had some folks that have been on the team for a while, and we've had also a really nice mix of really new people too. But since we do have a few experienced folks, we got put in sort of the tough division. But I'm glad to say that we came in second. We narrowly missed out on first. I believe it was Loves that did a great job of just clipping us at the end. So congrats to them. And also congrats to the chamber team and everybody else that was in.
That's fantastic.
That was in the race. So it was a lot of fun.
Second place finish in an experienced heat is hard.
Yeah.
Like I've been on rowing teams where you're like, oh, this is not going to be great for us. So I'm so proud of you guys. That's awesome.
I've been on a rowing team where we actually hit another boat before.
I've been on a rowing team where I was hit by another boat.
And then, you've been in.
That was not fun.
So, because I think that if that were to happen on land, she and I probably would have challenged the other team to fisticuffs.
Well,
and I'm not sure how well that would have gone for us, but Alicia and I were hot, man.
I bet.
Were not happy about that situation. So, so that was Friday night, and then of course Sunday was the Memorial Marathon, and a little bit different, but a new course, and they had actually in an effort to sort of increase people's sense of safety, they actually had limited the amount of registrations that they were going to take.
Wow. So what did they cap it at? Do you know?
It was around 13,000, and we normally have about 26,000.
Right.
here.
And they split it up over 2 days?
Over 2 days, the 5K and some of the other, I believe the kids marathon event, that was held Saturday, and then the marathon actually started at 6:30, and normally the marathon and the half marathon start at the same time, and everybody sort of packed into the crowds all together, and it does get pretty crowded in there, but they actually let the marathoners go early, and then the half marathon started at 7:30. It was really, really nice. Lots of space in the crowd. I mean, you felt totally safe, and overall, I would say it was a really good experience. Still lots of support out on the course.
That's awesome.
Just kind of what you would expect from Oklahoma City. Everybody came out and it was really supportive, and it was great to see. It was a great event, great day for running.
And you said it finished in Scissortail Park.
Finished in Scissortail Park, which was brand new. It was really, really fun.
It'll be interesting to see, assuming in April that they have it with full capacity.
Yeah, gonna be a quick turnaround.
Day. That's right. First of all, for people like you who are running 26 miles, very quick turnaround. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's one of those things where, you might as well just keep running, people, and go ahead and do it again.
Just keep running 14 miles on Saturday. That's fine.
Let's just do this. So,
I think it'll be nice to see the park completely full of the runners, the supporters. I think that'll be the best, most fun place to be in Oklahoma City that weekend. So,
and also, I will have to say too, shout out to the marathon folks for kind of the new course. They have, over the last few years, they've removed a lot of the next to Lake Hefner running, which is just really, really a really good idea. And I thank you for that. And I believe 25,999 other runners also are going to be thanking you come April for that decision. So it was really nice, and it's great experience. So glad to do that again. I did want to mention also, there are a couple of cool things coming up this weekend at Riversport. This weekend is the Oktoberfest, and
does that involve beer?
It involves beer. It involves some fine German cuisine. It involves some fine local music to really get you into the spirit. I believe it's the Bohemian Nights is what they're called, and we went last year, and it was actually pretty chill, a lot of fun outside. Got some pretzel, got some bratwurst. Bratwurst, currywurst, knockwurst. I love all the wursts.
All the wursts.
Bring them to me. Bring them to me. Into my veins. And it was a lot of fun. So we'll probably do that. And then the next weekend is actually a series of events. So
okay.
Dogtober. There's going to be some BMX activity and a lot of different ways that you can indulge kind of your outdoor sweet tooth.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and we've actually got a nice piece on that on Velocity OKC with some more detail. So I'll put that in the show notes.
What?
You guys can check
more
that
details
out.
on VeloCityOKC.
More detail on Velocity OKC. If you ever want to know anything more about what's going on in Oklahoma City, VeloCityOKC.com is a great place to look for that sort of thing.
So speaking of upcoming events and beer, Brewfest is coming up on the 21st, right?
OKBio Brewfest. So the Chamber is a sponsor of this event, and so this is a great. If you are thinking about getting into the world of craft beer, like we were talking about with Al earlier, or you would just like a good opportunity to sample a lot of what our local breweries are putting out these days, as well as local wineries and distilleries. You may not be aware, but we make a lot of wine, we make a lot of spirits here as well.
That's right.
Really good stuff. And so that's the cool thing about the OKBio Brewfest. It differentiates it from some of the other kind of beer tasting events that you do get a chance to try a lot of different things. And it's held outdoors, concourse in the ballpark, so great central location. You can ride the streetcar if you'd like. If you'd like to get there and be safe and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And so we're a sponsor of that event. That's October 21st, 5 to 7. So get online. I'll drop a link to that at the show notes. We've actually had a piece on that on VeloCityOKC.com promoting that event. Believe it or not.
We're very plugged into what's happening.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thing.
So
it's funny that you say that though, because October is just it's a busy month. It's great weather. I think people in Oklahoma are like, this is great weather. We are going to schedule our event for this month, especially if it has any outdoor kind of activity. And there's the Halloween connection, so people tend to plan fall festivals and that sort of thing around this time of year.
Right.
So there are a few other ones coming up. We've got the Midtown Walkabout on October 16th, and then Brick or Treat October 25th.
Brick or Treat.
A very family-friendly Halloween kind of trick-or-treating event. You can find out more information about those at Downtown OKC. They're putting on both of those events.
Speaking of beer...
what?
Yes, speaking of beer. Just to preview the next episode, we are going to be live at Lively Beer Works, who is a new chamber member. So we're going to get to talk to them about not only their beer, but they're also doing a big new kind of inaugural art show. And so we're going to be able to hear about both of those things, and I think that's going to be really cool. So that is actually going to be October 21st. Mark your calendars. We'll be going live that day as well and recording that. And then, of course, the edited version will be out a couple days later after that. But that'll be episode 24 of Audacity. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of preview for that. Oh, I did want to mention also, Parlor, chamber member Parlor OKC, the food hall. They have a new restaurant there called Disco Taco Parlor, and we have a write-up on that on VeloCityOKC.com.
You said you really liked it because it had a lot of punny names.
A lot of punny names.
Nate is the pun king.
I do appreciate a good pun, and so I'll leave the rest to your imagination, but they actually have some pretty good stuff there. So if you haven't been to Parlor, now is a good time. Check out the new place and all their other restaurants. Is there anything that you like in particular at Parlor?
I haven't been in a while, so I'm not sure. But I always enjoyed. It's a great place for groups because you can go get everyone can have their own taste.
Right.
So
you don't have to worry about
that.
XYZ likes this cuisine, XYZ can't eat that, XYZ doesn't like this, or whatever the case may be. Everybody can kind of get their own stuff, and they've got a lot of offerings there.
They had, I think it was a Detroit style pizza, which was like a little bit of a deep dish action, and I loved it.
Yeah, Providence Pizza. That's a good spot. Yeah, I like Bad Nona's is sort of kind of the new Italian restaurant there.
Ooh, okay. What kind of food do they? I mean, Italian food, but more like pasta varieties. Okay.
Yeah, and it reminded me a little bit of if you haven't been to Flips for a while, kind of an OKC institution.
I love Flips.
They're doing some fun things like how they have the Italian nachos at Flips. They're doing some similar things there. But good stuff. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's lots of things for both of us to check out before our next podcast filming on October 21st. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll see you there. So thanks you guys for joining us. If you guys have any questions, comments, please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave us a review, especially if it's a good one. Actually, only if it's a good one.
Only if it's 5 stars. And do that on iTunes, because that does help other people find what we're offering.
Yeah.
So that is helpful to the pod.
We're very interested in what you have to say as long as it's possible.
As long as we like it.
That's fine. But yeah, be sure to, if you have feedback for us though, another way to get that to us is to email us, and that is networking@okcchamber.com. Networking@okcchamber.com. If you prefer the social media routes,
we're there too.
Our social media profiles are generally OKC at OKC Chamber.
OKC Chamber. Yeah. Or go to our website at OKCChamber.com.
Yeah. You can do
we're everywhere online. Everywhere.
Right. So we will see you guys in a couple weeks live from Lively Beer Works. We're very excited, and I want to thank Al Rojas again, and I want to thank Justin Tinder for helping us get this set up.
Thanks to the whole crew at the Convention Center for allowing us to be here.
Crew. Thanks to the voters of Oklahoma City for making all of this
You're the real MVP.
Yeah, for sure. Be sure to come down and check this out. You will be proud of what we have all collectively done together. So see you guys next time. We appreciate it.